Hello, and welcome back to
So
the
long
Zero Strategy
story short, you know
Podcast.
at least one person who tore their scrotum at a golf cart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi.
Yeah,
Hi, yeah,
I do.
glad you were having a productive conversation.
We're having a heart to heart, a
Yeah.
little scrote to scrote.
Yep.
A little screw to screw. Okay, yeah, love it. Welcome back to the
STS.
Zero Strategy Podcast. I'm joined today by my co-hosts Grog Mode
Hello.
and Medibot Eve.
Hello.
The delay is still there on the camera. It really confused me for a second there. Okay, now you're just
Hello.
messing with me. Welcome back. We've missed you. We missed last week, so we're back with lots of things to talk about today. First of all, though, last couple of weeks, what have you been up to, Grog?
Let me think. Last couple of weeks. Kind of some of the usual stuff. I did make some slight changes to my overlays for the stream. Not too much, just like continuing to try and tinker. There's a dude on YouTube who he wasn't the inspiration, but he's definitely somebody to look for inspiration. His name is Nutty. If you look up Nutty on YouTube and like anything related to OBS or streaming, he put together these like pretty cool compilations of different ways to add interesting filters and effects to your streams. And interestingly enough, he put out a part two episode that I watched last night. And this part two episode was highlighting unique streamers, people that did like really novel things with their streams. And then I went back and I watched his part one, which came out a long ass time ago. He, I guess, didn't intend for them to be so far apart. And on episode one, he features former guest of this show, Dragners, for
Hey.
Dragners Pokemon Snap like integration.
Ah,
Because Dragners had this thing that basically recreated Pokemon Snap like on stream, and it required all this custom coding. I don't think it's part of his website or his channel now, but it was kind of cool. So I was just kind of reminiscing about like ideas of things that I could change, and it was already on my brain because I had spent like the last week making small tweaks here and there. Mostly just playing more Apex, got into Platinum. What? And then we finished Cyberpunk, which was actually really cool. I got to I think what I'm going to do now is for games that feel like I'm starting to get bogged down in them, or I really am personally invested in completing the side quests, but I realize that's maybe not a thing that chat wants to see on stream. My goal now is, I think, to just do what I did with Cyberpunk, which was I'll put it on pause, and once I get to a point where I feel like I'm not super invested in doing the main storyline because I want to complete all the side stuff that might be boring, I'll just do that shit off stream. And that's what I did with Cyberpunk. I basically did all the things that I wanted to do, all the tedious stuff. I'm going to do something similar with Subnautica, where it's a survival game, so there's definitely a lot of tedium and like collecting things and fetching things and building things and crafting things. And for some channels, if it's a big channel and you have a big following, like you'll have people stick with you, you know, no matter what you're doing. But I think if you're a small streamer, honestly, like you can be asking a bit too much of your viewers to like sit and watch you craft the umpteenth, you know, rock holder thing. Like it doesn't, whatever it is, it's not fun after a certain point, even though I'm having fun maybe. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that with Subnautica. And then we just recently started playing Jedi Fallen Order, which I know you started playing, Condi. It's very cinematic and it's very cool. And it's also canon, which I learned recently.
Oh.
Um, which is actually pretty rad because I guess it was right around the time that like Disney was acquiring like Lucasfilm and were comfortable like establishing their own canon with like new properties. After they wiped out the extended universe, I kind of just assumed that anything that wasn't in a film was just like not legit. But I'm happy to know that Jedi Fallen Order is in fact canon for the universe. So there's a lot of cool characters in there and so cool planets and lore and stuff. So yeah, just been kind of switching up my games a little bit. What about you, Eve?
oh, just still having my delay, I think, right? Yeah? Yeah? Is it still there?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Don't know what that's about. But I've been playing a lot of Pokemon. I started and finished Pokemon Radical Red, which is like a super hardcore ROM hack of Fire Red. Kicked the shit out of the Elite Four. I was pretty proud of myself. beat the last two people in there first try. So, pretty amazing. And then I started playing Pokemon Pearl recently, which is also it's hitting all the nostalgia that I want.
Is that Pokemon Black Pearl, the crossover with Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, exactly.
Now I heard Captain Jack Sparrow evolves into a pretty rad Pokemon by the end.
Yeah. Captain Jack Swallow.
Yeah. He's a water type.
Better joke would have been Fearow! Captain Jack Fearow! It's fine. It's fine. You know what? It's fine.
Yeah, you've been on the Pokemons a lot recently. I've noticed it's generating a lot of good clips for you, though.
Yeah.
Which is actually something we should talk about a little bit with the whole YouTube Shorts thing. It's kind of interesting.
What is that, Condi?
Well, YouTube Shorts is basically YouTube's answer to TikTok, which has been out for a while, and I didn't really give it any thought until recently and decided might as well try this. So basically, I think there's a lot of misconceptions around Shorts, because people were telling me you just upload a video and as long as you put hashtag Shorts as the first word in the description, then it'll be a short, which isn't right. You don't even have to put hashtag Shorts anywhere.
Too about it being vertical format.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I initially tried it. I tried it with the best clip that's ever come out of my channel, which is that Warzone one, which is blown up not once but twice on TikTok. I posted it on YouTube. Nothing. But it didn't. To me, when I looked at it, normally when you see a short, it's got a little logo on the bottom right and it says Shorts. It didn't have that. So, and I tried having hashtag Shorts in the title, in the description. Basically, that's all irrelevant. I haven't tried uploading from a PC, but from a mobile, if you upload any video that's like under a certain length of time, as long as it's in vertical format, right? So the resolution is maybe flipped, so it's on a phone, then it counts as a short. You don't have to put hashtag Shorts anywhere. And I basically made the decision to start a second YouTube channel, specifically because I didn't want to spam my main channel with all these short clips, because I know that I don't have the capacity to upload full videos every other day. I'm posting on a very good week 2 videos on my main channel. Most of the time it's 1 video a week. And if it's just getting spammed, okay. Where's Hamtaro, Eve? Where's Hamtaro? Anyway.
It's half recorded.
Yeah, that's what you said like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I recorded for 45 minutes and then I stopped.
I'm not going to push you anymore. It'll happen when it happens. But yeah, basically, I didn't want to spam that channel and risk, I guess pissing off current subscribers that don't want to see that flooding their sub box every day. And B, if a new person decides to visit my YouTube channel, they can't find any of the like full length videos that I've put time and energy into, because all they can see are these clips from the stream. So I started a second channel. I called it Condyfly Clips. I was thinking about calling it Condyfly Shorts, but that felt like a low-hanging fruit. So I decided not to do that. And it's been good. I told Eve to do it as well. And I kind of wish I hadn't, because she's shown me up. Like, I have posted several videos on there. One video hit 1,000 views, which on YouTube I was like, that's fucking pog. That's great. Unfortunately, even though it's like, wow, a video, like, immediately, one clip from Apex has got more views than any video on my main channel. But, like, although they're YouTube views, I feel like YouTube, 1,000 views on, like, a normal video kind of means more than 1,000 views on a short, because it is just like TikTok. People just scroll through it. It's not like the channel's still got 4 subscribers or something, right? And every video I've put up there since is either at 1 or 0. And weirdly, my videos keep getting age restricted, and I don't know why.
I think it's because you're Scottish.
But I don't understand.
Every single one of my videos basically starts with fuck, shit, or something like that.
That's what I don't get. I went through. Scottish. There was one that I really took issue with.
The mustache kind of makes him look like a predator too.
I happen to like my mustache, thank you.
I like the mustache.
I like the mustache. All right, continue.
But yeah, basically, there was one that I really took issue with. It was when the OG maps came back to Apex and the whole lobby was dropping Skulltown. And it looked cool. There was so many people all dropping. I was like, that's a clip that could blow up. So as soon as I was done that stream, I clipped it. I got it up on YouTube. Age restricted. So I took it down. I changed all the tags to remove anything that could be...
on it, does it?
No, it doesn't
Like
give you
when you
any
click it?
info.
Yeah, that's what's bullshit.
So I took all the tags away and I got rid of all the ones that I thought might be considered like violent or anything like that. I changed the title, re-uploaded it, age restricted again. There's no swearing in the video. There's not even any gunfire, really. I mean, there's a little bit, but
Have you run into this on your main
no
channel?
no videos on my main channel have been age restricted. But
And
2 or
you-
3 of
in
my
the
TikToks
settings-
have TikToks.
In the settings though, there's also, I know that, was it like 2 years ago, YouTube, because of changes to US law, like got real crazy about you have to be very specific about whether the content that you're uploading on your channel is like family friendly versus not family friendly. Is that
So you get an option when you're
assumed you've,
uploading.
like, toggled that.
Yeah, you get the option saying, yes, this video is made for kids. No, it's not. And I always tick no. Same on the main channel as well. No, it's not made for kids. But they still age restrict it. And the thing is, age restricting it, obviously, particularly for a short, because the whole point with a short is you want it to get caught in the algorithm and get recommended because people are just scrolling. Age restricting a short just kills it, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
It kills
Yeah.
it. The one that I had that hit over 1,000 views didn't get age restricted, and I was playing Apex, and it's literally shooting someone with a bow and arrow, like arguably a more violent clip. Like it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why, but they just keep getting age restricted. But Eve, on the other hand,
Because you're Scottish.
I was like, you should do this. Eve made another channel, and all her videos are getting
It's
hella
Metabot
views.
2, Metabot Eve 2, the Squeakquel.
With
which
the
I'm
worst channel name I've
not
ever heard.
The best.
Eve
Don't.
screenshotted it to me, sent me a picture while I was live, and said, "That's what I'm naming the channel." And I
So
just
that
said,
actually brings us around to our main topic for today, which is discussing Condi's disgust and jealousy for Eve's success.
"Yes,
Yeah. Trying
I-
to bring just because I have one more subscriber than you.
You posted that picture, and you were like, "That's what I've called the title." I was like, "I'm not gonna reveal to everyone the name of your channel just in case, but if you think that's a good name, you do you. That's great." And apparently, I was wrong. So, but yeah, YouTube Shorts. You know, my
Yeah.
thought to it was, why not? Especially if you're already posting on TikTok, why not just post on YouTube as well? It can't hurt. It literally
Yeah,
can't.
you've
hurt.
already got the video formatted the way you need it. so-
Exactly. And I do it
The-
from mobile. So I'll edit on PC.
Mhm.
And then once I've got the video in vertical format, I just transfer it to my phone and I'll post to TikTok. And it just takes an
I just
extra
edit
2
them
minutes.
On my phone.
How do you edit them on your phone? I'm curious. What do you use?
It's an app called Kine Master, like Kine.
I've
not too
heard of
bad.
that.
Yeah, I can do it like 5 times faster than I can on my computer.
I've got it
So
down
like,
to
I
being
just
pretty quick on
efficiently
PC.
go like
but
that, pat, pat, pat. Okay, we're done.
I'll maybe have a look into that because that
Yeah.
might save me some time as well.
Have you looked into that? The fuck was it called? Hover. I
Yes.
haven't
Oh,
uploaded on there yet. I haven't even
hover.gg.
made an account yet.
So, yeah, I mean, we could talk
That's a
about
whole
Hover a
new
little
social
bit.
media platform.
So Hover is okay. Before we get started, I
Creating an
I don't want to shit talk, and I don't mean any. Shit talk's actually kind of
Shit
funny
talk,
because that's
shit talk, shit
basically
talk.
what the app is.
Oh.
That was a good little play on words there. Right. So Hover is on paper, great idea, right? They are doing what I keep saying that Twitch should do, which is that they're making a platform for clips, ideally from, I mean, it's heavily focused on Twitch, where you create your Hover account, you link that with your Twitch account, so it's inherently linked up, and then you post clips. They're not in vertical format. You just post them in your normal format. I started reposting TikTok clips in vertical, and they don't look good. So you post it your normal format, And I think you can link up your Xbox account and stuff and just pull clips straight from your Xbox and stuff. Like there's some sort of cloud based thing
So
there.
are you still in the situation where you have to be choosing when the clips are uploaded, or is it just any clip that's made on the channel is automatically
No,
thrown up
you
there if
choose
you
what to
link them?
upload.
Okay.
So weirdly, because I was hoping, because I could see there's some when you go through the uploads, there's let me pull it up right now because there has a few different options available. Hover. So if I want to post a clip, okay, this is a bad time for my phone to just want to. Well, this is part of the issue, I suppose. I want to post a clip. It's like TikTok. Click the plus, and then you've got Xbox. And it'll come up saying, we use Xbox Live to get your Xbox clips. Connect your Xbox account to share your clips. Right? Then there's a PS5 Switch account. So you can link your Twitter to get your PlayStation and Nintendo Switch clips. There's a Clip Cloud, which I think is like linking to your PC or something. And then there's clips that are saved to your device. So your phone. So I use that last option. Take a clip. I mean, obviously, it just adds an extra step. You could just go into Twitch mobile or Twitch in your browser on your phone, download a clip, and you've got it on your device, and you can do it that way. But you choose the clips in the normal format that you would stream in. You don't have to reformat them, and post them on there. And the cool thing about it is that it is specifically kind of designed for streamers, so that if somebody goes to your clip and they enjoy it, there's a button built in on the page to just follow the Twitch account. So if you're scrolling through there, you see a clip, or maybe like the sort of TikTok thing, you start seeing the same person over and over and you think these clips are really funny. I can click a button on the app that will follow me to their Twitch channel immediately. So it removes that initial step of like, on TikTok, oh, I'm going to follow this person on TikTok, but then I have to also go search for them on Twitch to go and follow them there. It takes away that extra step. And in theory, it's great. You put in what games you're interested in at the start, and when you upload a clip, you have to put what game category this is in, right? So it'll bring you a list of games like similar to the Twitch homepage, and you click this clip is from Apex Legends, and they also run these competitions, which I think is really interesting. So they run these like weekly or monthly contests, and when you're uploading your clip, you can suggest it to go towards one of these clips, and it'll be like, what's your funniest just chatting clip of the week? Or this is Apex players sponsoring a thing where you submit your best Apex clip in that category and you could win like $500 at the end of the week. Sorry, I'm ranting, so I need my inhaler. So there's a lot of different like categories you can put it into, which is interesting. It has, in my opinion, two major problems. The first one is that who's on Hover? Twitch streamers.
Yeah, so it's Twitch streamers
That was my
advertising.
word.
To Twitch streamers.
What incentive do you have to be on Hover if you're not a Twitch streamer? I'm sure there is people on Hover that aren't Twitch streamers, but the majority of people are other creators because that's what it's meant for, right?
It's like 3 bands on tour together, like small bands, and then they each go to like the next venue, and then the audience in the crowd is just the other
band
bands.
members. I've been in that exact situation as well.
Yeah. What's really bad is when you do that and the other band members don't show up.
God.
Yes. Yeah. Or they leave after soundcheck to go and get food while you're playing.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
I mean, that's never happened. My bands have always been immaculate, great.
I'm sure. I've played many gigs to the other band and the bartender
from Senses Fail. Okay, I'm big.
I played with fucking Proclaimers. Well, not really. I mean, I was on the same stage as them for a festival. Like, they weren't there. We played on the main stage, and then a few hours later, they showed up and played on the main stage and then fucked off again. But I was still on the same bill. All right? I'm taking it. Anyway, that's my first thing, is that it's just going to be other Twitch streamers that are on that platform. So you're kind of, you're not really necessarily attracting viewers as just sharing your content with other streamers. My second issue with the app is that it is just a bit of a mess. Nothing really loads.
Yeah.
For some reason,
I literally just signed up and I was trying to get through their dumb fucking tutorial. It's like tap anywhere, and I was like tap. Let me continue. I know how to do. And I
Yeah.
started tapping harder. It's like, go!
It's very slow.
I got
It's
there.
not a smooth experience to scroll from clip to clip, which is something TikTok and YouTube, if you just want to scroll, you can do that. On Hover, there's a lot of waiting for things to load. As soon as I created my account, it said, followers 5, and I was like, how? And I click it.
I was just about to say.
I click
But then
it,
it says no followers.
and it says no followers. And I've had notifications to be like, this person's now following you. And the number's gone up to 7, but every time I click it, no followers. When I go to my own page, even though I know I've posted videos, they don't show up. And I'll get notifications, but then when I go to the notifications tab, just nothing will load. It's a bit of a buggy mess.
Well,
Yeah.
it almost, to me, my takeaway from this is it almost highlights an issue that this has brought up, but like, one issue that Hover seems to have actually solved, which we need more of, is the ability to embed the option to directly follow a channel outside of Twitch. Because like if that was a feature, imagine if TikTok had that as a feature. Imagine if if YouTube Shorts, well, YouTube wouldn't do it because they're a direct competitor.
They
from a
don't want
business
to,
perspective.
yeah.
But like if that were an option, even on just Reddit, I mean, just think about like how many websites there are where people are community driven websites where people are sharing content. If there was a way that you could like remotely embed the option to have a link that when clicked would register as a follow, that would be huge. And imagine like just adding that level of versatility, the amount of ideas and creative solutions that people would come up with would probably explode. Because for the longest time, I remember when
For
it,
the
the-
longest.
it was really novel that you could embed a PayPal button somewhere on a website.
Mm.
And that like was like, oh, like you can, now you don't have to like go to PayPal and actually like look at the person's address. You can just embed the button somewhere. Twitch kind of almost needs the same thing for discoverability on third-party platforms.
Yeah.
If they're not going to create an application like Hover themselves, or actually, honestly, they would need to build it within their own native platform. Because let's be honest, people aren't going to download a second platform to do basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will if they must, but let's face it, most companies are not as big as Facebook is. So when Facebook Messenger like took Messenger out of general Facebook app and made it its own second app, I was fucking annoyed because I was like, great, now I need to have Facebook Messenger and Facebook on my phone at the same time. This is dumb as shit, and it became an impediment to me wanting to use it. So if Twitch ever does something similar to TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Hover GG, it really needs to be built within their own application. And I know, like, as Conti has said on previous podcasts,
mobile
they're
app.
really missing out. But even just if that was an option through somehow hooking into their API and allowing for like remote follows, that would be great. But I wonder too if that also opens up the door for possible like botting. Maybe like
Yeah.
some bot is a web crawler comes across that embed somewhere and then just like directs a fuck ton of follow bots your way. I don't know.
The thing is, I want Hover to succeed, if only for Twitch to take notice and think, yeah, we should do this with our app and make a better version, right? Like, and I hope, I really hope that somewhere at Twitch R&D they are working on something like this, because it's impossible to ignore the success of TikTok. We've already seen YouTube respond with YouTube Shorts. It's been very successful. I mean, YouTube Shorts is a viable platform. It's got a lot of eyes on it, just like TikTok does.
And more importantly, it's embedded in YouTube.
Yeah,
It's
right?
just a subset. It's a sub feature of YouTube, so it's not taking up any more space on your phone,
Exactly.
on your home screen. You're already going to that place.
The thing,
yeah.
these companies know that short form content is what's popular right now. Because you've got apps like, I mean, Triller is an app that tried to copy TikTok. I mean, it's not doing very well as far as I know, but it's a thing. You've now got Hover as well and all these other apps. Twitch already acknowledges that short form clips are an important thing. They literally already have some kind of algorithm so that when you're watching a clip, Usually at the bottom, there's a couple of other recommended clips that you might want to watch next. I just don't see how it would be that difficult for them to take that extra step and make it its own little subsection of Twitch, where they could have these channels linked in. They could run little events like Hover are doing. They could have a Twitch Rivals kind of show us your best Warzone snipe of the week, and the winner gets, X amount of bits from Twitch. Because, I mean, they've run these things. Like, they did the Fairy Mod Mother thing recently, where it would randomly go around channels and gift subs or whatever. Why not use that to get people watching clips, and, they can throw ads on there. TikTok has ads.
I was about to say, let's not ignore the fact that they're always trying to figure out ways to push streamers to voluntarily run ads on their thing. If you actually just had it so that every 10 videos that you watch, it plays a 30-second ad in between before you can proceed, people wouldn't love it, but they would deal with it, and that would also, again, get more ad revenue into the pipeline for them. Yeah.
I wish they would do it, because it's I really hope. I've got to think if they're smart, somewhere in Twitch they're working on something. We know Twitch aren't the fastest to react to things. YouTube Shorts haven't been around that long, and YouTube are usually fairly quick to implement new features and do things like that. And YouTube Shorts is a direct result of TikTok. 100%, no doubt, right? Like, I would like to think that maybe Twitch is just a few months behind, which we would normally sort of expect. In terms of copyright, Twitch is literally years behind YouTube. So I hope that this is not too far in the future, but it's got to be coming. But anyway, point of that story is diversifying your content is one of the best ways to get eyes on you and your stuff. And if you're already, like we are, taking clips and cutting them down for TikTok, it takes almost no extra time to just post that on YouTube as a short as well. Why not, right? I don't think Hover's really going to go anywhere. That's my gut feeling.
I don't know. I just made my first post on there while we were talking, so let's see if I get famous.
Let me know. I think I'm going to post every so often.
Code JHRZ.
That's the other thing.
I don't know what it does.
They have these referral codes, so that when you sign up, you can put in a referral code. I don't know what it does. I was given a referral code by somebody who told me about it, and it literally wouldn't let me create an account with the referral code. Every time I did it, it kept crashing, and as soon as I took the referral code out, it let me make the account first time.
I saw that when it said my referral code, it said 0 out of 1,000, so maybe they had already gotten there.
I don't know what the reward is, but they're obviously trying to get creators on there to then get all their buddies on as well.
Very weird.
Through this incentivized code thing, but
oh my God,
I don't think it'll go
reopened
anywhere.
the fucking app and it wants me to go through the tutorial again. No, no.
Sorry, Hover, if you're watching or listening.
I want you.
I'm not sorry. I hate
succeed.
you, Hover. I don't want you to succeed anymore. You're inconveniencing me. I understand that I can switch the rotation of my phone. Okay, cool. We're good. Hey, my post showed up.
No, it's, again, it's definitely worth trying. Eve's had a lot of success with YouTube Shorts. I have other friends that have seen post videos that are getting a lot of views. Like, if these views were on main YouTube videos, it would be huge. Now, obviously, unfortunately, it's not quite the same thing. I mean, my one experience of a video that, I went to bed, I had 3 views, and I woke up the next day and I had 1,000. But it still only had like 3 likes, 2 comments, not a lot of interaction happening. But regardless, it's still worth trying. There's no harm. It doesn't hurt. And it takes 2 seconds extra if you're already putting your content on other platforms.
So there's a good question.
Say the nice thing.
Oh, go ahead, Eve.
Oh, does your Iron Brew say yes, sir?
Oh, yeah. It's the whole Euros thing. The yes sir I can boogie. It's kind of been like this song. Yes sir I can boogie, but I need a certain song. It's like that's kind of been like the Scotland.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say though. So
song thing.
Grog, what were you gonna say?
God, imagine being derailed by a soda can. There's a good good question and comment in chat. This comes from Scott. It says, I know you slightly covered this last week, but would it not make sense to put certain content on TikTok, other content on YouTube, and other content elsewhere, just so that you are not duplicating? Granted, I appreciate this involves more editing from a creator side, but surely there's no sense in duplicating content to the same viewers. Yes, in a vacuum, yes, it would make sense to have maybe marginal overlap if you have like a premiere video dedicated to covering a milestone. Maybe it's a montage that you really want to like springboard off of. Maybe it's there's a number of reasons why you might want to publish something to all these different platforms, but nominally, would you want to mitigate having too much overlap if you do have the same followers in different venues? Yes. Can you? Yes, but it's hard because it comes down to the thing that you actually addressed in the question, which is it just takes more time. It's just more time. And without like a staff or a workforce, and with everyone doing stuff solo, basically, I mean, everyone is an independent, both artist, promoter, editor, you name it, you're wearing like 50 different hats. I think it becomes complicated to put a lot of work in, both to doing the live content, then you also have to manage your Discord. You also have to manage your socials that aren't even video related. You want to be active on places where you can be visible, like Twitter. If you stream on Facebook Gaming, you'd want to be active on Facebook. So there's all sorts of interactions that need to take place, and so many things vying for your attention, that there often, I don't think, is a lot of time for people to curate content specifically for one platform at the expense of ignoring others. And usually, now that there are kind of almost two camps, you have long form and short form. You've got short form being like YouTube Shorts and TikToks and Instagram Reels and stuff like that. Because let's not forget, Instagram is also going through a lot of changes recently. I don't want to get bogged down in it, but Instagram is actually pushing away from being a static photo sharing platform to moving towards just copying TikTok. You're going to have short form platforms for content where you just watch videos that are probably 2 minutes or less, probably 1 minute or less. And then you're going to have long form content, which at this point is really just YouTube. And technically within Twitch, you have highlights, which can be any length of time. But let's be honest, most people aren't going to Twitch to look at highlights, if they're even going to look at VODs at all. So if people can create a piece of media with the limited time they have outside of networking and trying to be social and trying to just be interactive with their own community, on top of already doing the thing which they're doing, which is being live on stream, which you can't make that. You can't. I mean, I guess in theory, there's probably somebody out there who's figured out the secret of like being live on stream and making the content on stream and then posting it from stream to these platforms. But in that sense, it's just being spread thin, and I think there just isn't enough time to curate bespoke content. This is my TikTok only shorts, and this is my YouTube Shorts only material, and this is my Instagram Reels only material. So yeah.
See, sorry, go ahead, Croc.
I was gonna say, or you could stagger it. The other option too is that you don't, maybe you sit down for a day or a week, and you're creating a batch of content. Maybe you don't publish them all at the same time. If you have like this hot pop and Apex video, maybe you don't push it to YouTube Shorts and Instagram and Twitter and all these other things all at once. Maybe you try and stagger them. That could be a way to diversify content. You figure the algorithms for these websites are so aggressive. There's a strong chance that once you post something, the window for discoverability closes after 48 hours. And let's be honest, for something like TikTok, it closes after 24 hours. So it's like, if you're not if it's not getting swept up by the algorithm and if it hasn't received impressions by people within a short window of time, it's probably never going to be seen again, unless you're an avid devotee of that creator and you're going to their page on a daily basis checking for new uploads. So I think that if you are going to repost content, probably better to just like spread it out. Um, but it's down to a time management thing, and unfortunately, most people are just it's a one person operation. So
And I think a big part of it when you're a smaller streamer is really just using these to drive to the platform that you're on most of the time.
Yes.
So it's I don't know. I feel like if like personally, if you follow me on TikTok or if you follow that second channel on YouTube, you're just getting the same content. Really, you should only follow one. It's really just to try and get more eyes.
Exactly. That was my thought to it as well. In the past, I have made content specifically for TikTok. You know, if I think of a funny joke or, you know, there's a trend happening on TikTok, I'll maybe record it and post it. I'm not going to take that same content and post it on YouTube or on, you know, my stream because it's a trend that was happening on TikTok that I jumped on it. The reason we say, you know, to post these clips on other platforms, it's to be efficient. You know, if I sit down and do an 8-hour stream and there's a lot of good moments, good clips, and I do nothing with those clips because my audience has already seen them, that's a massive waste. That's so inefficient, and it's honestly wasteful. I appreciate that there may be some small overlap between people who see my stream and then people who follow TikTok, but it's a very small amount. My way of looking at it is Twitch is where I'm creating my content, and if I want to use that content to be as efficient as possible, I need to spread it out to other places for other people to see it and hopefully come back to the stream, right? And the reason I made the second YouTube channel as well is because I know there's some people that watch my stream that don't want to be on TikTok, and that's totally fine. Then there's a second YouTube channel where we post these best moments, these best clips. I mean, I follow both these guys on Twitch. That doesn't mean I catch every minute of their streams. So it's nice to see Grog's TikToks pop up or Eve's TikToks pop up.
Wow.
Because that's a moment that they've identified.
You're not there all the time?
I'm not. As much as I wish I could be, those moments come up, and it's a moment that one of you has thought, this is a good moment, and this deserves a bit of, you know, this deserves to be its own thing. And I can see that moment and watch it on those other platforms. But to me, you got to be smart about it, right? I'm not going to take a YouTube video that I made and then just play that on my stream. Just like I wouldn't stream for 8 hours and then the next day go, I'll just rerun the same stream. I'll just play it as a video on Twitch. That's a waste of time, in my opinion. So when you're live on Twitch, you're creating that original content there. But if you want to be efficient with it, you can go out. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll make other YouTube videos that I do off stream. They're completely their own thing. They go up on YouTube. But if I can do something live and it's an enjoyable experience for the live viewers, and then afterwards I can take that and edit that down to a nice, good YouTube video and put it out there, YouTube is discoverable. Twitch isn't. So that video, maybe there's a tiny chance gets picked up in the algorithm and new people see it and then they come to the stream. That is the entire point. That's why we take our clips and put them on TikTok, on YouTube, and all these other things. I get what you're saying. In a perfect world, you'd have completely unique things for everything. But just because somebody sees that clip on TikTok, it doesn't mean there's no point to then post the same clip on YouTube because there's a different audience there. So do you see what I'm trying to, like, am I making sense with that? Like, it's all about discoverability. Streaming on Twitch 12 hours a day is not going to get you anywhere. You need to get your content out on other places where people can see it.
And let's be honest. The crux of it really comes down to it is discoverability at cost. And right now, if you were an enterprising streamer who is making next to no money, because I mean, let's be honest, if you have like less than 500 subs, you cannot sustain yourself on the platform. It's just not possible. And even 500 subs is still the very low end, sadly. So in that sense, because it's just an issue of money and scale, people can basically just do more with less, and by having a smaller lesser batch of content that they disseminate across a larger set of networks, it's just cost effective. If honestly, if I know that Condi and Eve and myself, we've all come up with like banger clips where we've had something that is either incredibly impressive that we've done in game, something extremely witty that has happened, or just a combination of all the above, and they're memorable. They're memorable for a host of reasons, and you could probably even solicit any streamer could probably solicit their communities to come up with like what's my top clip, like what's the thing that really is like speaks to this channel, or maybe your channel trailer if that's just a composite of all your best stuff. Dude, if I could pay a gajillion friggin' dollars to have that run on Times Square and like, have like, have fun question mark, follow at, twitch.tv/grog mode. Like if that was possible, people would do it. Like it's just, we don't have the money. It doesn't exist. And I think the people, for example, like, oh shit, I'm forgetting the mod and the editor's name right now, but like Tim the Tap Man, he's got his dude. Whips. Whips is like his guy. Whips is like he is full-time mod and editor for Tim the Tatman. When I go on Instagram and I see something on there, Whips is the person that edited it and put it there. And like, so when I go to Instagram and then I go somewhere else, I am seeing different content for Tim. But as we already know, he's just raking in cash. If you don't have a team behind you, or you don't have a dedicated partnership with another streamer who, where your talents overlap, maybe you're really good at editing, but they're really good at social media management, or maybe they're really good just at doing artwork for your overlays or whatever. If you don't have that level of partnership where you're handing off those responsibilities, I don't see diversifying content specifically on a per platform basis as being viable, because it's just down to economy of scale. The money is so low and so poor, you have to basically do everything for free, and the real cost is just human cost. It's the free time that you have to do it. So if you see yourself, if you enjoy primarily creating content live, anything that is asynchronous that is going to be posted elsewhere is going to take the back seat. Inversely, the same is true. There are plenty of people who maybe started out streaming and moved to becoming a YouTuber, and they don't do live content anymore. It's Jimbo is someone who we had on the channel a while back. He doesn't really stream anymore. He just does YouTube stuff, and that's his passion now, and it's been really successful for him. But I think that like all of that just kind of comes at a cost. It's really where do you prioritize your personal level of interest for engagement? If you're there for the stream and you really love the live interaction with your community, you're going to suffer on the end of like having to make videos and publish those videos and advertise those videos. There's just no two ways about it unless you have a team.
Yeah. It's interesting, and I the other thing I think is key is that a lot of people will have a kind of main platform where they want, like, for example, so Scott made the point of, he said if all channels, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, etc., they all have the same videos and the same content, then he feels less likely that he's going to follow on each of those platforms. But if each platform had unique content from the same creator, then he's more likely to follow all of them, right? And that's perfectly understandable. I get that. There's people that I'll follow on Twitch that I wouldn't necessarily sub to on YouTube, depending on what type of content I like watching from them, right? The way for me that I would look at it is my main platform's Twitch. So I want people to come to Twitch. So if you're already here, that's great. You don't need to feel any obligation to go and follow TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever. The option is there because, again,
no, go watch every single one of my TikToks right after this.
There's a lot of people that I follow on Twitch that I just don't have enough hours in the day to watch them while I'm working and doing my own things and all this. So having their YouTube channel there, when a video pops up, I can go watch it, and chances are maybe I've seen some of it live, maybe I didn't see all of it live, maybe I missed that day completely, and I can watch that video on my own time as and when I want to. And usually when it's a video, it's not just straight, here's the 8-hour stream I did on YouTube. It's going to be edited down to the best bits and be in a format that's nice and easy to consume. And the same goes for TikTok and things. There's a bunch of creators that I follow on there, and I'll see their TikToks, and I maybe didn't catch the stream that day, and I still enjoy it. Or maybe I think, well, I need to go find that YouTube video because that was a funny clip. I'm going to go watch that video, right? So it really is the whole game is trying to get those eyes on the content that you want them to see. So for me, I want people to see that live content. And the best way to do that is to put out the best bits of that live content in short snippets and hopefully get people to go, I'm going to come over and watch this live. Because that's the end game, really, right? That is what all streamers, small streamers, are really looking for. And the best way to do that is to just take those best bits and advertise yourself. They're adverts for your channel.
I'd like to highlight something that was said in chat that and I think that, I think we understand, the concerns that Scott raised in chat, and they're valid. They're totally valid as a consumer of this material. And and he gets our end of things. I want to actually focus on comments from Kevin OSX. I think that they do a really nice job of just kind of neatly summing up sort of the moral dilemma of it all. And they wrote, they think that new creators don't understand that some bigger creators have a team or teams behind them that help create all that content, and then they get it burnt out quickly trying to do all that stuff by themselves. They go on to say, I really wish that these creators would be more open about that too, but you rarely see any of the other teams mentioned. All you see is creator ABC released 20 videos this month. No mention of the writers, the editors, the graphics, etc. And that's really it. If you also the big elephant in the room that we haven't even talked about is the fact that at a certain point, even mid-tier content creators sign up with agencies. There are talent agencies that are specific for streaming, and there's not just one talent agency. There's a whole slew of them, both foreign and domestic. There are agencies in the EU. There's agencies here in North America for people like even myself. There's agencies for Condi. Those agencies aren't cheap, but that is the next step for a lot of people, where once they break through the lower crust of minor success, very minor success, often that would be an opportunity to basically, take the leap of faith that investing in this agency is going to be worth it for you long run. Because I'm sure some people, they probably go to the point where they, get set up with a talent agent, and there's a talent group that is there to promote streamers, and maybe that won't be successful for them. It won't necessarily be any failing on behalf of the talent agency, but some things just don't succeed, and that's a risk that some people take. Can I? The question in chat was, can I define what a mid-tier streamer would be? That's anomalous. I don't know. I don't know that I can answer that, because I think that there's not enough transparency in this field to really know what the numbers are. We don't have a Glassdoor type website where people are writing down, what is their viewer base as compared to their sub base as compared to what they're taking home. And it's complicated and a little messy, because you've got other means of income that may not directly be related to metrics that we can see. Some channels are really big with, hauling in bits every stream. Some channels are really big with donos. And some channels, are just making what they make based off of just the subs. And of those subs, it's probably a lot of them are just going to be tier 1 subs. Very few, if any, tier 2 or tier 3 subs. So I think because there's so many avenues of income and so many ways in which you can be profitable, I don't know. Joris says in chat, a mid-tier is above or below average of 1,000 viewers. That feels.
Yeah, I'd say that's about right.
I would say that's about right. Or like mid to low would be somewhere in the ballpark of like 500 as the low end, and going upward. I think the people that I've seen that I followed on Twitter who and often again, people are not transparent about moving to a talent agency. Some people that I know that have like joined agencies, um, uh, T-Rex, Jambo, but that's only because they've reposted stuff pertaining to the agencies that they've belonged to, or when they've left one and moved to another. But it seems to be around that, you know, after you're 300 plus, and you're starting to move into the 500 to 1,000 concurrent viewer range, that people are maybe looking into going that route. And maybe on an independent level before that, if they're making enough money and their overhead at home for their rent, their income, etc., is enough that they can throw some money towards an editor on the side, they might be able to create a team, off the rip earlier than it would be if they had to join an agency. But
I mean, I
that's
know.
again, there's just not enough data, and it's not enough of it self-reported, and it's certainly not source reported directly from Twitch. Twitch isn't saying here are the numbers, here are the annual metrics on how much the average person is making based on the average views. I think that would be phenomenal, but they would never do it because I think it would scare people away from the dream of making it.
And speaking of hiring editors, I know Condi used to be in the same boat. I used to have an editor that I would do like weekly videos with, and obviously that went to a point where that wasn't financially viable anymore. But that was such a big relief. It was just, oh, okay, record something for like minutes, and then it's out of my hands. It was such a massive relief, time wise.
Yep.
Just yeah, get back to that point. It's nice.
Yeah,
it makes a big difference.
It's great. But then I also see the other side of it, which is that I know, Grog, you don't really do YouTube to the same sort of degree, but like I have found for my, to kind of play the other side, I have found it to be very positive for me doing the YouTube stuff because, I mean, for my own mental health, if I'm having a bad day and I'm really just not feeling it, and I just don't feel like I can go live, I know I can still sit down in front of the PC for a couple hours and edit a video and get towards, maybe not even finish a video, but have a chunk of it done, so that I still get that same sort of dopamine hit of being like, I've done the work, I've made something. Now, granted, yeah, it's hard to do that. I mean, a lot of these streamers upload daily. I mean, Tim the Tatman, you mentioned earlier, I think he has like 3 YouTube channels with daily videos. He has a team. It's not, no one person could do that. It's just not going to be possible. But it's, for me personally, I really enjoy doing that editing side of it. Although I agree, when I have worked with editors in the past, it is quite nice to just be like, there you go, and that's just getting done in the background, and then I can focus on other stuff. But I also wouldn't discount it. Like, for me, making that content for other platforms, even if it's just editing TikToks or sitting down and putting some time into a video, like a full video for YouTube, at least then that makes me still feel like I've done some work and I've been productive, even though I've not streamed. Because you guys can both relate to this. You maybe just don't feel up to streaming that day, so you say, well, I'm just going to have to miss today. And you spend the whole day feeling shitty about it because you're like, well, I didn't stream today. And guess what? I didn't even relax and enjoy my time off because I'm just feeling guilty for not going live. And it's not even, for me, it's not even guilty because, oh, well, the viewers were expecting me to be live. It's like, what the fuck? Like, if I want to make it in this industry and I'm just sitting here doing fuck all and I'm not getting there, for me, being able to take that content I have and do work, and at least I know next week I'm going to have a video out because I've had the extra time now to sit and edit it. That's been huge for me. Just while we were talking as well, it reminded me of a post I saw on Reddit that I thought was really interesting that I wanted to go through. So unfortunately, it's a graph, which is not going to be able to show you guys, but it's a graph showing average viewership on Twitch over a 30-day period. So this was posted 6 days ago, and the table contains the 30 days of data based on average viewership. So it breaks it down. In that 30-day period, there was a total of 2,736,844 non-affiliate channels that had 0 to 5 average viewers. there was 689,617 affiliates with 0 to 5 viewers and 1,459 partners with 0 to 5 viewers. Then you jump to the next category, which is 6 to 10. Now on the bar graph, that is infinitely smaller than the first category. Almost 50,000 community with 6 to 10. Only just under 150,000 affiliates and about 1,200 partners with 6 to 10. After that number, which is I believe is like 11 to 25, is tiny, right? So if you've got over 11 viewers, you are really in that top part of Twitch. You know, by like something like 99% of people on Twitch are sitting between 0 and 5 viewers, right? Which is really interesting. And I think also is kind of nice to know that, hey, if you've got even more than 5 viewers, you're in the top sort of bracket of Twitch, right? So reading through what it says, many people think that affiliate you'll inherently get more views due to Twitch giving you recommendations. Most affiliates saw 0 to 5 viewers in June. Yeah, 70% of affiliates were sitting at 0 to 5 average viewers. So you're already, if you've got more than 5 viewers, you're ahead of 70% of other affiliates, which really, I know someone mentioned in chat earlier, I think it was Kevin was saying about the top 5%. Really, it's the top 0.5%, as he was saying, that the top streamers are up there. And I think it's sometimes just really interesting to put that into perspective and realize that, guess what? If you've got over 5 viewers, you're not in that first category where almost everyone else is. You are in the sort of next one or the next one again. I don't really necessarily like to look at those statistics, but it's kind of sometimes a bit reassuring to think that, you know, maybe even if you're on a bit of a decline, I mean, me personally, just going into it, I feel like my channel's not in a period of growth right now. We're very much stagnating, and I'm trying to mix it up with different games and do other things, but we're definitely very stagnant, and that's okay. That happens on Twitch. Comes in waves, you know, ups and downs. That's the way it is. But that little bit of reassurance to go, you know what? If you've got more than 6 viewers, you're still doing amazing compared to the majority of people on this platform, right? And I just think that's worth mentioning. It's interesting data.
Just to springboard off of that, if anyone is ever interested in looking at any data specific to a channel, through the API, pretty much everything except for sub information. So subscriber information is private, although you can opt in if it's your channel. But basically, you can go to twitchtracker.com. And if you go to twitchtracker.com, you can plug in the information for any channel, past or present. You can see all of their metrics for hours viewed, individual I mean, basically, it is everything. If you want to see, like, oh, I got rated by so-and-so 2 years ago, what was my peak average viewership to the day? Like, I can find that out. It's really, really interesting. It'll give you the over-under on weekly, monthly, or yearly statistics. It'll break down categories. It'll even break down how many followers were gained or lost. So if you start streaming in a new directory, you can see if you're trending downward because you started streaming in that directory. Like, I know that right now, even though No Man's Sky was far and away not my most streamed game ever on the platform, it got my most views and it got my most follows. And like, I can't main that game. It's just not in me to do it, right? But I know that game was really successful, so that is a metric that I can use going forward. But twitchtracker.com is really interesting because you can look up anyone, the biggest streamer to the littlest streamer. It doesn't matter. All the data is there. If you think that, like, somebody maybe, like, if you hear in gossip channels that, like, oh, so and so was follow botting, or trying to boost their stats, usually that stuff is pretty apparent because you'll basically just be watching the graph, and instead of like a steady arc upward, and you'll see like they got like 10,000 follows overnight, and like their stream, view count has remained relatively stagnant. That kind of stuff. It's all there. It's all open for anyone to see. So I would definitely recommend people checking that out. A question that Scott brought up in chat was, is what Condi mentioned by the numbers, any indication that they are making the threshold for becoming an affiliate too low, or that too many people can achieve that status. The thing is, that's what Twitch wants and needs. From a business perspective, the, having the bar for affiliate be low enough means that once you become affiliate, you can start accepting subscriptions. If you can take in subs, you're taking in money not only for yourself but also for the platform. So for those, hundreds of thousands of channels that are in the bottom 75% or more of Twitch that are pulling in almost no viewers, if they're still pulling in a sub, they're still pulling in some money.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to make affiliate harder to get. There's been discussions recently on Twitter, particularly amongst people who are both partnered and unpartnered, but are on their way to partnership, about just how, in a way, unobtainable and unfair partnership can be in terms of like the requirements necessary to even get there. That's a whole other discussion for a different show. I just think at the end of the day, affiliate status is not going to go anywhere. I don't think it's going to become easier because getting affiliate is already pretty easy.
So easy.
So and whether you do it honestly or whether you fake it, it's easy to get. Getting
People
50
have
follows.
never faked it before, okay?
Never.
They've never faked it for someone else's satisfaction. Never.
No.
Yeah, I just think that overall, kind of like, there is just a general lack of awareness, and that's not, and I don't say that as a slight to anyone, but there's a general lack of understanding, both among creators as well as viewers, about how dense this market is and how impossible it is to really grow, and the amount of money that we really take in. I mean, if like, I, I might make somewhere between like 190 and 240 bucks a month, and I've got 25 concurrent subscribers on average. I would have made more. I would have made that much in 2.25 shifts of work at my old full-time job. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was, I was making almost $2,000 every paycheck, and now I was getting paid twice a month. So, it's not, you have to, I'm getting tongue-tied, but the point is that it really just comes down to, I don't think people really understand how much work it takes, not only to be successful, but how much work that people who are already not successful are putting in just to be scraping by. And even at that level, the making a couple $100 a month, it means you're still in the top 2% of the platform.
Yep.
That's crazy. Like,
yeah, there's so many people on the platform that, unfortunately, the vast majority you just don't see because they're buried at the bottom of Fortnite or Call of Duty Warzone with 0 to 1 viewers. I mean no disrespect, and if you get affiliate, you are absolutely allowed to be excited about it. It is a milestone, but it's not, in the grand scheme of things, it is not a hard level to hit, and that's by design. It's meant to be easy because Twitch want to monetize. Because guess what? Even if every affiliate gets 1 sub, as I just showed you there was something like 2 million unique channels went live with 0 to 5 viewers that month. If every one of those 2 million channels was made affiliate and got 1 sub, Twitch takes half of that. And guess what? If they never hit their $100 thing, Twitch is just taking all that money, really. So that's a lot of money that they're just leaving on the table. Not that being affiliate isn't important, but I think when affiliate first launched, I was super fucking hyped, right? I was on Twitch before affiliate was even a thing, right? And when affiliate first came out and they offered it to me, I was hyped as fuck. I didn't, back then I didn't know if I wanted to take it because I felt very much like, well, I don't want to monetize my channel. Like, I didn't have a donation link or anything. It was like, this is just fun. I'm not trying to monetize it. But then I'm glad I took affiliate because it gives you so much more that you can do with your channel. But now that it's been 4 years, affiliate's been a thing, It's really, again, you're allowed to be excited about it, but my thing is that if you've been streaming for 2 years and you're struggling to get affiliate, you need to look back at what you're doing and figure out something different. You need to revisit your content and work out why you're not getting affiliate, because it really, I mean, people are not, I'm not suggesting you could do this, but you can have, your friends and family just open a tab for you, and there you go. That's your 3 viewers. If you get two family members to open up a tab, then you hit your 3 average. I really truly think that sooner or later Twitch is going to just lower it again. I think Twitch is going to say, as long as you've streamed 7 times, you can be affiliate. I really truly think they will, because Twitch isn't benefiting from having that small, gap to hit affiliate. So I really don't know where that's gonna happen, but I think it will happen. Because affiliate, it's cool, it's exciting. You should be excited about it. I'm not saying you're wrong to be excited about hitting affiliate, but the way I like to think about it is, you're going to a job interview on the top floor of this building, right? Starting streaming is like getting the bus to the job interview. Going through security at the front door is hitting affiliate. And then right at the very, very top, after you've went up 100 flights of stairs, partnership is your job interview. That's the way I think of it in my head, right? You're just through the door when you hit affiliate. That's my thoughts on it anyway, but I feel like we kind of got into a rant there. Do we have do we have anything else we kind of want to hit this week? I mean,
the only thing that I would really like to check out there is and this is, I guess, kind of to dovetail it together. There is something, there's a myth that I would like, and we would like to debunk here in just a moment. And part of that has to do with the fact that, like, there isn't enough, we've been talking about how there's not enough transparency in terms of how some of this stuff works. We have, websites like Twitch Tracker where it's using the API, and people have that is not a website made by Twitch, but the information is publicly available, and people have put in a lot of hard work and effort to make that information digestible. But there's still plenty of things that we don't fully understand unless Twitch explicitly explains this is how it works. And one of them is the fact that you've probably been on a channel or gone in a raid, or we've even talked about it here on this channel, where you'll hear a streamer say, if you're gonna lurk, or thanks for the raid, please don't close the tab or refresh the tab, and don't mute the channel, please mute the tab, because if you mute the channel, you will not be counted as a viewer. People who are on doing partnership pushes, when we had Pigeon on here, he was talking about
turn up or
was it
tab up.
turn up or tab up. No, I think it was just turn up and tab up.
Maybe, yeah.
And it was basically down to leave a tab open if you're trying to help somebody, reach their concurrent viewer mark for, say, partnership, and make sure that you turn the volume up so that you are counted as a concurrent viewer, and not just a non-existent viewer. Here's the myth. I actually went back after we had some private discussion in our podcast chat, like almost 2 weeks ago, and I found a thread from Twitch support. This is the official secondary support channel for Twitch. This is an official mouthpiece for the platform. And on 10/16/2019, they said they recently made changes to help them better detect and remove artificial views from view counts, such as third-party sites. They have a link to learn more. And then they had a secondary post that followed that one, same day, 10/16/2019, that says, lurkers, don't worry, we see you. We will still include viewers who are watching but may not be chatting, have the stream or browser tab muted, or maybe watching a handful of streams at one time. They also said, in response to a user who made a comment on that thread, hey, muting the streamer browser will still count as a viewer. One thing that is important to keep in mind is if a user has only logged in via chat, they will not be included in the view count. So that would basically mean you've got the chat window open, but not the video player. there are ways to do that, but that would kind of be an odd way of like
Yeah.
interacting with a page, but it's possible. But I'm glad they clarified. But in short, and again, this was and that second comment that I made was like from last year, from September 29th of last year, Twitch support again reiterating that quote, muting the stream or browser will still count as a viewer.
And it
So
makes sense because,
yeah,
deaf people exist.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. I guess I like really quick before we you kind of messaged or talked about it a little bit there. I want to talk about this sort of partner push mentality a little bit because it is something we've all got used to seeing, and I guess I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on it. I feel that partner push can be great if you're very close to hitting those goals, and it can really get the community moving and bring a lot of attention and hype to your channel. But I also feel like it can be quite negative.
What and here's a side question just to interject. What do you think is quite close? Because I think that really varies from person to person making these pushes.
Yeah, so it's difficult. I think the main thing that the majority of people, the last thing that you need to tick on that box is average of 75 viewers, right? I think that's the most common last step to hit. And I think there's a lot of sort of pressure once you get to maybe like 50, 60 plus to start doing this partner push thing. I don't know. I've never done a partner push. I'm not really close enough to start thinking about that. But to me, partner push, obviously, it brings your community together. Right, those people are going to be excited and want to help you hit partner. Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
No.
Everything just went deafeningly quiet. What was that?
That was like thunder. Hang on.
Did it knock your fan off or something?
It sounded like someone fired a gun.
Because all I hear
stream.
is...
Did you hear that? That was
like,
fucking crazy.
Oh, there we go. Your background noise completely died for a second. It was like...
I think Discord maybe just didn't pick up, but that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think Discord picked it up. I'm listening to Discord, not the stream.
Okay, well the stream heard it. That was nuts. Sorry, that was like somebody was really not happy with what I was saying there.
Shut the fuck up there.
So the way I think about it is,
Bezos out there.
Yeah.
a lot of people look at that and think, once I hit that 75 concurrent, I'm gonna get partnered, which is just not true, right? Once you hit the 75, that's a guideline, and then you can submit an application. I don't know how true this is, but I feel like a lot of the time, Twitch is going to just deny that first application.
Yeah.
Because that's what I would do, right? If I was looking for partners to represent the platform, I'm going to deny the first one because I want to see if they're going to continue to keep working and they're not just going to give up immediately, right? So with that in mind, it's difficult. I think you can fall into this trap where you're partner pushing for a long time and that hype starts to go down. And I think it's also important to acknowledge that you're probably going to attract a lot of people that are just there for that partner push because they're excited to be part of something and get the channel to partnership. And chances are, if the channel hits partner or it doesn't, those people are going to start to drop off. As Kev mentioned earlier, he's seen a lot of people who have like partner push in their title with 5 average viewers, right? I think there's nothing wrong with a partner push once you're really up there in numbers and you're very close to hitting that. But it seems to me that you have to be careful with where you time it.
Yeah.
Here's the other concern too, is that sometimes, and I was rated once by someone who was a partner. I followed them at the time. Their content's okay. It's not necessarily for me, but there's nothing wrong with them. But they popped up in my feed the other day when I was just looking to like watch somebody yesterday evening, and they were sitting there with like they hadn't just gone live; they were live and had been live, and they only had 6 average viewers. And this is someone who's partnered. And then I pulled them up on Twitch Tracker, and it looked like they just had this meteoric moment at a certain point more than a year ago, whether it be a partner push or something, just the stars aligned, they got partnership, and they've just been like at 11 average viewers, like pretty much for a year. They're partnered. Like, you know, I think that a real concern is that when the hype dies, how many people are really going to be sticking around, you know, when the partner push is over, once they think that they've gotten you across the finish line. There are going to be people, and it's not because they have ill intention, but they just, you know, were there. They made time for you. They made time to help with something. They made time to get you across the finish line. And then after that, they weren't your diehard audience. They weren't your core. They didn't represent your core viewership. They were nice people who, you know, turned up to, like, you know, help see someone succeed, but they weren't going to be able to commit long term. And in doing so, you could hit partnership, meet the requirements. Maybe you don't get it on the first application, but maybe that partner push goes, because you can only do it once every 30 days. So maybe like it goes for another month. Maybe you're crazy lucky and you get it on your second application. Do you think that you're going to still be hitting, like, you know, 75 to 80 concurrent viewers, you know, a month after the partnership goes through? There's a good chance you might swing down. Um, yeah, I think it's just organic growth to me, I think, is the best and only true metric of success. Having campaigns, specialty campaigns that are designed to forcibly push at key moments can be good for lots of reasons. Do it during a charity drive. Do it during. I mean, there's plenty of reasons why you would want those things to happen. It's not like the intent is wrong. It's for good reason, but it's not sustainable if you're bringing in an audience that is not destined or designed to be part of your core audience.
Mm.
Um,
I think
I
of
don't
it
know.
kind of like, and I know it's easy. It's easy for me to say because I've not been in a position where I would say I'm close enough to try and push for partner. You know, it's not something I've ever really tried to, like, you know, guys, you have to watch my stream so I can get to partner. Like I've never really got to that point. But I like to imagine how badass it would be to just be like, oh, out of nowhere, be like, guess what, guys, partnered. It's like driving tests. Back when I was a young lad, all the people around me, they wouldn't tell anyone when they had their driving test because they felt like, oh, if they know it's my driving test tomorrow and I fail, then everyone's going to know I failed. Whereas if nobody knows and I just show up and I can drive now and I've got my license, it would be badass. That's the way I kind of look at it. Again, it's easy for me to say as somebody who's never applied for partner and is not even close, but that's the way I would look at it. It's like, I would like to think that if I ever get there, I'll just keep it quiet. Just apply. Just, you know, keep it quiet.
Yeah. And on the other side of people who do have like these big moments, not necessarily partner pushes, but they have something that blows up. It's all a matter of capturing that afterwards, because a lot of these people have some big moment and then they can't capitalize on it, and then it just goes away. I feel like, just like what you were saying, I don't think pushing for partner is a good idea. I think if you're already hitting it and you've been hitting it for a while, then that's the best way to approach it. But because I've seen a few people while I've been on Twitch, they'll do the partner push, they won't get it. Do it like 3 or 4 times, they won't get it, and I've seen a couple of them just quit after that
Yeah,
because they
I've
get
been
so
seeing
burnt
that
out
too.
on it. And it's like, fuck, like you really loved this before that, and now
And if
you're
you're,
full of like resentment and
yeah, and if you're doing this hard push every single day, imagine, because at that point, right, if you're partner pushing for a couple months, every single day, the thing that is on your mind is, am I over the 75 concurrent viewers? Which means that you are just thinking about the viewer number the entire time. That must take such an incredible toll. I couldn't do it. I try not to look at my viewer count when I'm live. I'll have a look afterwards, the stream, and see what average viewers are like. Just because, you know, you need to keep an eye on these sorts of things. But I can't imagine spending every day looking at that. Because imagine one day you're sitting with like 30, 40 viewers. You just know that the longer you're on stream, you're hurting your average. So what are you going to do? You're going to end that stream probably. Try again another day. And I don't think that's a healthy way of looking at it, and I don't think it's a good way of looking at it. I think
Well, because it's you're right, and I agree with you completely. And the reason why it's not healthy is because it completely it forces you to reshuffle your priorities and your sense of self-worth and value. Like suddenly you're not as concerned about about your enjoyment of what you're doing and the worth in what you're creating. It's just been boiled down to a number. And then it's really easy to tear yourself down or tear yourself apart because the number's not going up where I need it. You know, as you said, the longer you stay on with a lower concurrent viewer um, count, it's going to skew your average down the longer you stay on. And it starts, it like basically starts to inject these ideas into your head that like what you're doing isn't worth it, because if I'm not hitting that mark, I'm not worth it. And could not be further from the truth for people who are really committed to their channel, committed to their community, and committed to their craft. Like people who are putting out good content should be valued for what they're doing, and not questioning like I'm only as good as my viewer count is. And that's also a reality. It's a reality that you can't avoid, because it does come down to the metrics, but it also is going to do someone's head in if they're only thinking about the metrics.
yeah.
um
I think yeah, you have to be careful because there's a lot of good that can come from these partner pushes. You know, it does bring your community together, it gets a lot more eyes on your channel. You know, I think the way Pidge, we've talked about Pigeon before, who has been partner pushing. He had a tweet about it recently, noticing, you know, a bit of a drop off in his viewership, which is completely understandable. When he's been partner pushing for so long, some of that hype starts to drop down, and it's natural that's going to happen. And he was quite open about saying how it's kind of had an effect on him. And I think in his case, the partner push has probably brought a lot more eyes to his channel. And I think that even if he didn't hit partner on this occasion, he's probably in a better spot than when he started partner pushing, right? So I think in some cases it can be good if you've got the mental fortitude to just push through that. Um, I also think it's important to remember that that magic door of partnership doesn't have anything on the other side. If you do apply and you get accepted, you get a sub badge, you get a few more emotes, you still have to be growing your channel. So if you're pushing yourself at an
I
unsustainable
thought we
level,
got like a 100K salary.
I'm
Signing
afraid
bonus.
not.
Oh, they lied to me.
If you're pushing yourself over and over and over just to hit that checkpoint, you have to think about what's next and afterwards. And that's why what Grog's saying is the organic growth is the important thing there, because you're pushing yourself so hard to reach that goal. You got to make sure you're not doing damage while you're doing that.
Exactly.
Also,
you could prolapse.
the better sub split, as far as I'm aware, I don't think this is an instant partner thing. From everything that I have heard, once you get partnered, you don't automatically get a better split. It is still 50-50. You only get a bigger split of your subs if you are large enough to renegotiate your contract with Twitch. Being a partner doesn't, as far as I know, I've heard this go round and I've heard people argue against it. As far as I know, and the bit, you don't get a split of bits anyway. Bits are just, you get what's donated. Everyone, 100 bits is 100 bits. The sub split, as far as I know, is once when you're like maybe 1,000 viewers plus, then you can go to Twitch and say, I would like a better split, and you negotiate with Twitch. If you're a 100, 200 viewer partner, as far as I know, it's still 50-50. From all the partners I've spoken to, it's still 50-50. A lot of people think that once you hit that partner, that's the case. I really don't think that is the case.
If you look at the partner program, so twitch.tv/p/en/partners, it doesn't actually mention a better split. And as far as Condi said, as far as I'm aware, you need to renegotiate a better split with Twitch. Now, none of the three of us or five of us that are on the podcast are partners, so we can't tell you what kind of like service portals are open to you, I assume that there's maybe some extra things in your dashboard that, you now have new ways of contacting them as a partner. Um, Maybe there is a way that you can see a more detailed breakdown of your revenue, and maybe there's a way for you to apply for a better split.
Yeah.
Um, but if you look at the official information that's out there online, it does not explicitly say that you automatically get better than the 50-50 you get now as an affiliate. Um, and we also know I don't have it in front of me, but I know verifiably that there are some partners who get better than the 50-50 split, and then some who get even better than that still. Some of the much, much higher end partners are getting better than a 70-30, or sorry, better than like a 60-40 or a 70-30. But it really just comes down to who you are and how long you've been on the platform and what your sub base looks like. And again, that information is not transparent.
Yeah.
Twitch, it would be of the biggest asset to all parties involved except for Twitch to make that information publicly available. And it's not, I don't think, because they're doing anything shady or they have anything to hide, but I think with that information, people would be able to rally for lobbying for better splits or lobbying for better or for changes to affiliate status. Like with that information, people would be empowered with knowledge, and that
Yeah.
knowledge, I think, could potentially hurt their current bottom line. So, do I think that Twitch is cheating anyone out of anything or being surreptitious about what they're doing? No, but I do think that they're intentionally keeping it very opaque about just the numbers. And so all we have to go off of are things like Twitch Tracker, using that public API, and then just trying to make inferences. But until we have big creators, XQC or Alinity or whomever, like dropping the very specific details to tell us, we won't know, and we'll just speculate. And here's the other thing: is when you become partner, again, none of us have been, so I don't know what the details are, but I don't know if you have to sign a new terms of service.
There's a partner agreement. Yeah. Same as when
Yeah.
you sign up for affiliate. Yeah.
So we don't know how that differs. I don't know how that differs than the affiliate, if there is a portion of it that is NDA where you're not allowed to disclose certain information. I don't know.
We'll tell you
It would
when we
be
all
nice,
get
though.
partnered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's, as far as I see, the main benefit is you get some more sub emotes. Although with follower emotes now, a lot of people have got access to extra slots, which is cool. Not everyone though. Interestingly, I know a few streamers that don't have access to it. Seems like the majority do, but certainly there's a few that don't seem to have it. But hopefully that rolls out for everyone soon, because now, in theory, if you've got the maximum amount of slots as an affiliate, if you have a viewer that's a follower and a tier 1 sub, they've got 10 emotes to use in your channel, which is huge. The emote library is a thing that I believe everyone has now, which is amazing because that means you can upload tons of emotes to there and then swap them in and out.
Oh, yeah.
And some people said to me things like, well, now I can have specific emotes for specific games that I play. I can just switch them. It takes 2 seconds. I've swapped mine around a little bit as well. That's been really cool. The big thing for partners is the video transcoding, which is huge.
Yeah.
If you don't know what we mean by that, for example, for myself, I stream on OBS at 720p 60 FPS. Now, if I go live nice and early in the day when the UK servers aren't as busy with other streamers, I'll get access to transcoding, which means somebody viewing my stream can go, my internet's not that great, I'm going to watch this in 480 or 360p, right? And they can downscale it so they can still watch. Partners get that every time they go live, no questions asked. As an affiliate, if I go live anytime after about 5 p.m., I don't get that, which means my stream is 720p or nothing. So anybody who's watching me on maybe a spotty internet connection, or they're trying to do something else, they're trying to download a game or they're trying to play a game, they are stuck watching me at 720 or they can't watch. So having that transcoding, the video transcoding, is really good. I'm not sure if they get a higher bit rate. I don't know. I'm not
It's
super
been-
technical with that.
Again, the sort of prevailing thought is yes, you get higher than a 6,000 bit rate. We know that affiliates are limited to a 6,000 bit rate. We've been told that it's higher. Again, part of the reason why we're also getting into this discussion is because it's like the last sort of comment that we wanted to kind of cap off this episode with was how for the longest time we had been banning about this information that multiple streamers have been talking about, which is that if you mute the stream directly, you don't count as a viewer. We learned that's not factually correct, and yet you could go on Twitter right now and find people who are repeating that. The thing is, we don't know. It's rumored that you get more, but it's like it's so tough because so much of it is just kind of like shrouded.
Yeah, it's hopefully one day we'll be able to tell you. That's what it comes down to. Anyway, I think we've rambled on long enough. I feel like we've had useful discussions here. I think the important thing to remember is that don't get too excited. Don't try and push for these things too soon. Focus on you. Focus on your content, your channel, and things will come, without having to force it too much, because it definitely can have a negative impact. Grog, where can everyone find you and what are you doing this week?
Folks can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/grogmode. They can find me on other major platforms such as TikTok and Instagram and Twitter at gamer_grog. Stream 5 days a week, Monday through Thursday. It's just me. And I'll be streaming this week Apex and more Jedi Fallen Order. I think maybe squeezing in some Subnautica. And then on Saturday, Lauren and I will be playing, my wife will be playing It Takes Two. So on Saturdays, we do a co-stream. So it's just the two of us. And we just finished Little Nightmares 2. I cannot recommend that game highly enough. Little Nightmares 1 and Little Nightmares 2 were phenomenal. But we have been kind of alternating like sort of a spooky game and then a not spooky game. We did 2 spooky games back to back with Little Nightmares, so
It Takes Two is pretty spooky.
I watch you and Pidge play. I watch Selena play too. There's bits, but like it's more lighthearted. So we're gonna be doing It Takes Two, and then who knows after that? That'll probably take us a few weeks to get through.
It Takes Two is really fun. Really, really fun.
Yeah, it looks.
You're gonna have a blast with it.
It's gonna be good for us.
Yeah, for sure. Eve, what about yourself?
Yeah, so you can find me everywhere, Metabot Eve. YouTube, eventually I'll upload that Hamtaro video if I ever finish recording it. I guess don't worry about following me on that hover.gg. It doesn't even have a single view yet, so you can find me on TikTok. And I stream, I'm just streaming a lot of Pokemon lately, going through Pearl right now. And I don't know what we're going to play after that. Probably just go in chronological order with them. Play through all of them.
Heck yeah. Tons of content there to go through at least.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
What about you, Condi? What are you doing this week?
This week I will be... I mentioned earlier that I feel like my channel's in a bit of stagnation. We're not really... We're doing great. We're ticking along, but we're not really going for growth. So I'm trying to mix it up and do different things. I did Jump King the other day, which was extremely unsuccessful. I spent like 3 hours and barely made it off the first level.
It was very fun to watch, though.
Oh, it was a nightmare. It was awful. But I'm probably going to go back to that because I do want to beat that game.
Was it a little nightmare, though?
No, it was a huge, massive nightmare. I'm
fuck.
dreaming about jumping over very specific gaps. It was, you know what was fun about that game though? Like, it was very difficult, but when I fell all the way down to the bottom, I knew that I could get past the first like 4 rooms really quickly and easily because I'd done them 200 times, you know? That was fun. I'll be doing probably some Apex, and a bit of everything. I don't know if I'm going to go back to Fallen Order because I just don't have the attention span or the patience. I'm not a patient man like you, Grog. I can't deal with spending an hour in a tomb.
It was the puzzles.
I gave up on that game.
I just want to hit people with my lightsaber. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
So I think when I described it to you, I described it as sort of Tomb Raider-esque, and to me, I think it kind of does that because it is almost as much puzzle as it is combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would be a turnoff for people for sure.
I want to like it, but I'll maybe try again. We'll see. I got Game Pass finally. That's like the big thing for me. I got Game Pass. I know everyone on Twitter has been going on about how great Game Pass is. I finally got it. And you know what? There's a shit ton of games on there. So I'm probably just going to keep going through Game Pass and picking random games to play. We'll just see what sticks. We'll see what's fun and what we enjoy. But yeah, that's about it. So Condyfly on Twitch, YouTube, Condyfly
He's
Clips,
starting his partner
TikTok.
push this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been partner pushing for years at this point. Thank you very much for watching, guys. More importantly, if you enjoyed this podcast and maybe you thought that it was helpful or valuable in some way, we have all our old episodes up on YouTube and on Spotify if you want to listen on the go when you're out and about and doing things. If you are listening on any of those audio platforms, we also stream this live on Twitch, twitch.tv/ZeroStrategyPodcast. All the links for all the things will be down below, so feel free to check those out. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, we are going to go and raid somebody, so please stick around for that, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye. Pew, 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 pew.